All right. So thank you for joining us today. This is our lovely butts, beagles, and babies. This is my first 2024 class. So we're going to be going through setting up reviews, trying to set yourself up for success, getting all those reviews going, kind of a time to brag on yourself as we're driving business for the new year. I had someone ask, why is it called Butts, Beagles, and Babies? So I should probably start saying this at the beginning of all of my classes, but definitely for this new year one, it's actually because especially when you're doing advertising, what gets people's attention? What catches people's attention? Butts, so bodies. Sex does sell. I'm not telling you to use that. I want that on record. I am not telling you to use that. I'm just saying it is something that sells. Beagles or dogs or pets and babies. So that's why I named it that, butts, beagles, and babies. Kind of the rule of thumb as we're going to go through the whole year is that you want to be operating off of an 80-20. So 80% of the time, you want to be talking about yourself and your personal life and things that you're doing. And 20% of the time, you want to be talking about business. And the reason why is because people have the option to use any of us in the room, right? They could use me, they could use Deja, they could use Leticia. Why are they going to pick someone? Yes, it's going to be off of the professional appearance, meaning, how they feel you are as a professional, but also they are going to use people that they trust. So if they draw a connection with me or with Leticia or with Deja, they're going to be more likely to use you for business than if they just found someone on the street, right? They're going to connect more with you. And that is actually why some of those interactions where you're in the grocery store, you're wearing a
Name tag.
name tag or a shirt that says, I have silly realtor shirts. So my shirt says free real estate advice in exchange for tacos, and it's just something funny that's a conversation starter, but it's that, yeah, like I am hinting at the fact that I have a career, but I also am showing my personality. I'm showing that I'm funny. And that's what gets people to talk to me more than, maybe just wearing my name tag, right? So 80-20 is kind of the rule of thumb. We're today going to be talking about setting up those reviews, like I said, but the first thing that I want to start with is setting up your Google business. So if you already have this, then great. But for those of you who don't, I challenge you for 2024 to make this the first thing that you do this year. When you leave here, make sure you do this. This will be recorded so you can go back and follow the steps. I'm going to kind of I have the steps because I don't want to actually create another business account. So I already have one. I didn't want to create a fake business, but I'm going to kind of go through some of the steps with you. But we're going to talk through them in this list. So the first one you would want to do is you would go to google.business, google.com/business, I should say. So I'm going to open this in another tab. So here it is here. So I'm going to say manage now. And see, it's already linked to me. Hold on, let me try and sign out. Let's try that again. Free. Let's see if I can. See, yeah, it's got me logged in and I don't truthfully want to log out. Let's try. Well, let's just go through it. So you would go to that, right? If you don't already have a Google account, you need to create one in order to have a Google business page, right? So having a Gmail account, even if you wanted to have a coastaltown.com email address, you'll still need to get a Google account in order to have a Google business page. So the first step would be going and getting that Gmail account. So then it says, if you don't already have a Google account, then go ahead and sign into, I bet, let's try that. Let's see if I can sign into a different one that doesn't have something. Let's do, Okay. We're going to use my maiden name because I don't have one here. This will allow me to kind of show you a bit better. Okay. All right. So let's try this again. So I'm going to now go to google.com/business. Here we go. Sign in. It should be, no, it's still grabbing it. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to find a way to get around that. So we're going to go back to my list. So you're going to get your Google account. And you'll sign in. If you don't already have one linked, it's not going to keep grabbing onto this. But if you have, if you don't already have a business page, it's not going to keep directing you onto it. It would take you into the thing and let you start actually creating it. It's going to be kind of like when you signed up in the first place with your account. So it's going to be a super standard form of what's your name, what's your email, what's your phone number, and it's going to talk through a bunch of different things. But unlike most forms, it's going to ask you for things like, are you a storefront or are you a service provider? I personally set mine up, and we'll look at mine. I personally set mine up to have Coastal Town, our office right here, as my address because I wanted to have them see that it is here at Coastal Town. So if you see right here,
brick and mortar.
Yes, this is my brick and mortar. I did select that I have a brick and mortar. So it says one of the questions is, are you a storefront or are you a service provider? Yes, we are service providers. Am I in this office all the time? No. However, I want people to know that they are able to come and have a meeting with me. So I did put in that I am a brick and mortar. Yes. So that is why if you look here, you can see that it says hours open, services, options, online appointments, on-site appointments. When you put in your address, whatever address it is, Google is actually going to confirm the address. So they send a postcard with a code to the address that you've selected, which is kind of nice because it means that people can't be setting up random businesses like a Blockbuster from my house randomly without my knowledge, right? They have to have it verified before they make it final. So once you've done that, you're going to select your primary business category. So obviously real estate is what we're going to want to put for that. And then you're going to add in your phone number and your website. Remember that KV Core is able to get that website for us. I personally have a domain, or you can just use the one that KV Core gives you. If you have a domain, this is for a later day linking the two. But you are able to put, your website in there. I personally bought my website domain, which is Home with Hall 757 from GoDaddy. And I want to say it's like $20 every year or every couple years, maybe every 2 years or something. So it's really not that expensive. If you are trying to get something that's a higher value domain, then it will be expensive. So don't think that you can get in there and do Hampton Roads best real estate agent because one, it's probably already taken by someone. And two, those higher value ones are going to be like $100 or something like that. Like it's going to be way more than what you probably want to do. So play around with finding out what your domain is. I also encourage you that whatever your domain is, that should be your branding. I'm not someone that wants to try and remember a different email address and a different Facebook handle and a different Instagram handle. Everything that I have is Home with Hall 757. That's it. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, my website, my email address. When I make hashtags, Home with Hall 757. So make it something that you're going to remember. Then you have to, like I said, verify that you are truly real. So they're going to send with the postcard. And then once you verify with the postcard, then it will go live online. And that's when you can start adding in the things like what hours are you going to be open? Maybe you don't want to answer the phone after 8 p.m. You're still going to get calls. You're still going to get texts. Hello, we're in real estate. But, you know, what do you want to set that up for? Again, I personally put 24/7 because, you know, that's just what I did. But you can put whatever you would like to put on here. You can add different photos. So add headshots. This one is a background of a beach that says this could be your backyard. That was one of the first things that I made for my cover photo for Facebook. So different things like that. I'm today not going to go through all of the pieces for how to strengthen your profile, because it does give a rating. It gives you all these different things that you can do, all these little widgets. However, today I'm talking about reviews. And in order to have reviews, you first have to have a Google account. So that's why I'm doing this portion today. So if I were going to get reviews, I want to click this 27 Google reviews. I need to get more. I'll tell you that right now. I need to get more. But this is what I have at the moment. So I'm going to click this, get more reviews. And here is the link that I can do. So all I've done, I'm going to do that again for those who are watching the screen. I'm on my Google account, my Google business page, and I am going to click the reviews. And then I'm going to come over into this right-hand corner and click get more reviews. Okay. So right here is what I'm going to copy. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to leave this up right now, but this is what I'm going to come back to in order to get this shareable link to get more people to review me. Okay. So from here, we're going to leave there and we're going to go into Canva. So with Canva, if you are not familiar with this, it's literally just canva.com. Everything that I show you is going to be free. I don't like to have paid or fixed costs. We're all self-employed. We're all trying to keep costs low. So here is everything that I do is going to be off of the free version. If you choose to get the paid version, it's $30 a month, I believe. And truly, it is actually great. If you want some of the headache gone, please do use that. But for me personally, I'll be showing you the free versions. So whenever we're looking at items, if it has a crown on it, it's not something we're going to be able to use at this time.
Where is the crown?
Here's an example of a crown right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we'll see it here in just a second. So I'm going to type in super basic into the search field, literally the word review or customer review. Let's make it a little more specific. Customer review. And I say enter. And now it's looking for customer review templates. So here are all of our lovely options. And this goes on and on and on and on. Like there's so many different options. I'm going to scroll back to the top and we're going to kind of go through some of these before we select one. You see how some of these are square, some of them are long, elongated. Yes. So this is because it's different dimensions based on what kind of place you're going to be posting this. So right here, this one says Instagram post. So this is very clearly an Instagram post. This one over here says Facebook post. Very clearly a Facebook post. Look at these two. Pretty much the same, right? Same dimensions. This one's a perfect square, more or less. This one's a little bit more rectangular, a little more squatty. Truly, these are interchangeable. Pick one that you like. It's not going to be a big deal between Facebook and Instagram. Instagram and Facebook are good about adding in a border or something like that. They'll kind of make it so that you can still see it fine. What is not as easy to see is something like this, right? This very long one, it is going to crop it so that you're not able to see the full image. So think about the times where you've maybe been scrolling through your Facebook and you're like looking at a meme and it's like you can't read the top part until you click into it. That's what would happen if you tried to post one of these longer stories into a Facebook post. So this is for your story. at the top of Instagram or Facebook, and then these are your posts. So I kind of wanted to point those two out. Today I'm going to do a Facebook post, but it's very easy to create both from the same template, like more or less, and I'm going to show you that as well. So I like, let's see, I actually really do like this story one. So I'm going to click this one first. So this is the one I'm going to select and change up. Right here, if you ever see a money symbol, it means you do have access to it. It just means that some element, some picture, something in this is going to cost $1. So if you decide you want to use it and you swap out that image that does cost something, then now it's free. But if you decide, no, I really do like this picture of a house that they've selected that's watermarked, then you just pay $1 one time and you're done. You don't have to do it again for that image.
Key in your credit card info.
Yes, you can key in your credit card information. It costs $1. If it has nothing like this one, then it means it's completely free. So actually, let's click into this one and I'll show you what a watermarked version looks like. So when I click this customize, it's probably going to be this woman. And that's why this does not matter to me, right? Like, in what world was I ever going to use this woman, this random woman who has better skin than me in a review? Like, I'm going to put myself in there. So for me, this would not really bother me because I'm going to swap it out anyway. It's going to be free for me in a second anyways. So if I wanted to use this one, I'm going to come over here to this uploads. I'm going to show you how to swap out the image first. So when I come over to uploads, this is on the side here. There's a bunch of different options. So we're in uploads. This is where I put in different photos on that I personally had on my own computer. So you can see all of these pictures, right? All of my little headshots, which are AI, which we'll talk about another time, but these are all AI. And I just grab it, drop it, boom. That actually looks like it's pretty much made for this one. So I actually will probably keep this and use it. And she looks close enough to me to get away with it. Is it me? Not exactly. Her nose is a little weird, but it's close enough that the normal consumer is not going to know the difference. So we're going to, I'm going to come back to this because I actually really like that now that I've got that one open. But the one I was planning to use is this one here. So here is my template. And I have my little customer testimonial thing here. So I'm going to grab, again, an image, customer testimonial. Let's do this one. Grab and drop. And now I kind of have a weird color versus the background. If I wanted to update this color to make it a little bit more in tune with the headshot that I've just done, I'm going to do edit image. And I'm going to just kind of play around. This is kind of getting it this is a little more advanced. I'm going to acknowledge that in this moment, if you are not as Canva savvy, this moment is not for you. We're going to build up to this point, but I am trying to kind of cater this for various levels at once. So if you do this edit image, you can come over to color mix and pick a color that's a little bit more appropriate for the headshot. Yeah.
Where did you pull are your images already preloaded to Canva?
They are. I'll show you how to do that,
okay,
though.
That's why I can't find one because I've never. So I need to get my headshot or whatever.
There it is. Sorry. The thing had a little bit of a glitch. You can see that I hadn't actually clicked anything, but it fixed itself. This is an online system, right? So just like sometimes there's buffering time, sometimes there is like a lag time or a glitch. Just be aware of that. It does automatically save everything, but you did just see like a little bit of a glitch for a second. So yes, uploading images. what you'll do for that is there's this upload files. So we're in uploads, upload files, and you can grab these. I am a little bit chaotic and I just grab everything from downloads, or, you know, if you have it on your website, I do have one that's like pictures, headshots. I do have like a headshot thing. But a lot of times I just download things into downloads and then put them right online. So, X out of this. So yeah, that's where everything is. And you are able to search, like if I've done headshots, I can search headshot and here's Jed. Hi, Jed. Where I've done something for him. Or I can type in Christy. I think there's some that are under my name for that. There's some of my headshots here. If you're better about naming things, this would be easier. I'm not, because I'm a little bit of a chaotic neutral sometimes and just kind of go with it. But so if I didn't like this background, I'm going to delete this out. This part, we're back to less advanced. Okay, so we're back to less advanced. I'm going to come over to this element section and I'm going to type in the word background. And I'm going to look for a better background here. So maybe I do the graphics, I do see all. You can see these are the pro ones. So these are elements that I cannot use. Okay, but look at this one. This one's kind of cute. So I can put this image in. I can grab it just like you do with images in Word or Google Docs or anything like that that you're familiar with. When you have an image and you have the little corner pieces, you can just grab these and resize them. See? Rebecca, I feel like this is really a good background for your hippie self.
I love it.
I'm
obsessed.
So maybe this is going to become Rebecca's and I'm going to change it to Rebecca's face. But we see that some of my stuff has disappeared. I only have the letters. What do I do? I'm going to click position. It's just that it is, think about pages in a notebook. You have different pages in a notebook and I put the wrong page on top. I'm going to try and change the layer. I'm doing a craft paper thing and I've got to put the rectangle on top of the background, right? Like we're building like you would a poster board or anything like that. Same concept. I'm going to throw this to back. So I've done position. I've got the image highlighted. I do position and I go to back.
That's why things disappear and I don't know what to do.
There you go. Problem solved. So that's what's happened with it. So if I wanted to leave this one, I could. Or once I've got it sized, you see how I have an image there right now. We just changed it. We've got it locked in. If I grab another picture, instead of clicking it, if I click it, it just throws it into the center. If I grab it and drag it, it's going to replace the image that I already have just done everything with. So I'm going to let go, and now it's going to change that out. So it just replaces exactly the right dimensions and everything. So this one is going to be more in the line of the colors that I was looking for because it's a little bit more of an orange tone. I've got an orange tone headshot. That's good for me. If you are like, hey, Christy, I am just the most minimalistic person ever. I don't want a background at all. I want a solid color. Great. Love that for you. You can just click the background and see how there's this color. It says background. It even pops up and it says background color. So we're looking in the top left-hand corner and it says background color. I'm going to click this down. Now you could grab whatever color you want to, or you see where it says photo colors? We're going to come back and use this again. But it actually gives you colors that it is pulling and identifying from the photo that I have here. So if I click this, now it's got this color. Maybe I want it to be a little bit lighter. Maybe I want it to be a little bit darker. You can grab these different colors that it is suggesting from the photos. And that's what I love about Canva is you do not have to be a graphic designer. It really does a lot of the work for you by helping you with these kinds of suggestions. And in general, having the templates for us to begin with. So here is where I have my customer testimonial. I've changed out my headshot. Now I need to change out the actual verbiage. What I've done is I've clicked into the text box. I've I have Grammarly as a extension. Ignore that. This won't be a thing that you have. I'm going to triple click, because if I click once, it gets me into something, right? It just moves my little mouse. If I click twice, it usually gets just the word. If you click 3 times, it gets you the everything highlighted. Yep.
But you can hit delete to get rid of that.
Yep. So I can click delete. I can come back over here for a second and grab one of my reviews. So here is a review that I have. I'm going to click, I've selected it all. I clicked C for copy, and I'm coming back over here. And I did V for paste. Now it's a little bit too long, right? It's a little bit too big. So I just need to adjust it down. I can do that in a few ways. I could change the font size here. Or if you're impatient like me, you can just grab and make this the dimensions that you want to, and it's just going to automatically adjust it. So I'm going to take that. I want it to be the right width. And then I'm going to change the spacing in between. If you look at that, it's spaced a little bit too wide. So I'm going to click this right here, which is spacing. And I'm going to reduce the line spacing. Now it's messed up my dimensions. That's okay. I'll do it again. But at least now I've got this in here. Now this one is honestly still pretty long, and I don't want to make it too small of font. So what I can also do, especially because on this story, I have this space, is I can grab this background, and let's just extend this down. If you had an issue with it being too short, you could do the same thing. So I'm going to grab this person and the 5-star bit, and I'm going to slide this down. And I'm going to slide this down. Maybe I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. This time I am going to just click the little added button up here to kind of change the size. And there, now I've got my thing. I'll change this out to say who the person was. In this instance, it was Jed Smith. Thank you, Jed. And then here's my little stars. I'm just going to leave that. Or if I wanted to even change this color, maybe I'm going to do that. I want it to be this orange to match my headshot up there. Now you can see it's only changed one star. So you see this part right here where it says change all, and it's got this grayish brown, and then it has the orange there. I'm going to click change all, and there. Now it's changed all of them. So this can save you a lot of time. Now it's not perfect. Sometimes it doesn't grab everything. Images and font color don't always change at the same with just your, that's interesting. I'm on our thing, right? Yeah, whatever. It'll change images and then it'll change font color separately. So you do have to do that, but it does save you from having to click into each individual one. So here's my thing. So we've got customer testimonial. We've done we've changed the headshot. We've changed the actual wording. We've got the person's name in there. I've got my 5 stars. Last thing I'm going to do is put in something at whatever, or if I want to put my signature information, if I want to put my information for contact, whatever you want to do. When you are posting things on social media, remember the 1-click rule, okay? So if I'm going to post this from my Christy Hall Facebook page, I don't really have to do anything because all they have to do is click my profile and all of my DPOR required information's right there. It'll say my brokerage. It'll say my address. It'll say my office phone number. It has everything to keep me in compliance. So I don't have to put that on this, right? Because we're doing the 1-click method. if I wanted to have this so that maybe I printed it as well, that I would need to then have it printed. I would need to put my signature information. I would need, and I say signature information, meaning like the default of, yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. So just be mindful of what and how you're using things. Oftentimes I will post something from my personal, right? Because I have more followers on my personal Facebook page than I do my business Facebook page. But what I do is I tag my business, because then it's still a link for someone to click and find all of my information. So you can still tag yourself in things so that you're still within compliance.
So in order to put that in Facebook, does the office information has to be there? Just like...
No, it doesn't have to, because your Facebook page, your actual business Facebook page has all that information, right? Okay. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying you could add this. You could make this your website. You could delete it completely if you wanted to, but you could make this your website.com. You could make this just like they had it at home with Hall 757, which is what I would do. And there we go. So this is a story, right? If I wanted to download this, I would do share, download, and I leave everything as a PNG. PNG is going to be the best resolution for online stuff. So if you drop it down, it even tells you, so you don't have to remember in this moment, best for complex images and illustrations. It's going to have the higher resolution. JPEG is fine. I truthfully, at this point, don't do anything with JPEG. Truly. Because the text messages, this is more for like sharing a meme. If I'm sharing a meme, it's going to be a JPEG. Me to David. I'm going to text him a JPEG. Honestly, at this point, our phones are so smart that a PNG is still just fine. If I was going to print it, obviously you would want to do a PDF, and then there is the option of a PDF for print. So you can play around with these, but here is my PNG. I'm going to download it and we're done. And download, and then I'm going to just put that on my Facebook story. Super easy. If you want to take it up a notch, you're sharing this and you want it to have a little more pizzazz. Now we're going to go into the advanced level. Okay. So I'm going to make this more of a video. So I'm going to highlight everything on here. And I'm going to come over here to animate. Okay. So I clicked animate. I've got everything highlighted. And I'm going to, sometimes it says element animations. I want to just actually come over to this page animations. I want it to do everything for me here. Okay, so, and it has these combinations in general. I want to try and lock this image. Let's see. Because it's not a actual background image, it's kind of grabbing this. Let's see if I can lock to page. Let's see if that changes anything with the animation. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here. And I'm going to click animate. I'm going to get myself back to page animations. Okay, so now it's still moving the background. So I'll have to unselect that and I'll show you how to do that. But this one's actually kind of nice. I like this one where it's kind of just like everything's kind of sliding. That one's kind of nice. Everything's writing in on that one. Fun. This one's party. That's kind of fun. Corporate. I like that one. And then chill, everything just kind of comes in slowly. So did you see how the stars kind of kept going? Certain ones aren't going to work for every image, right? I don't like how the stars keep going on that one. The one I like the most is going to be corporate. So I'm going to select this corporate. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it literally is doing all the work for me. I could go through and specifically take the line customer and make that have a certain style of coming in, right? Transition. Think like PowerPoint old school where it's like, right? And it like comes up. There's all these different things. I mean, like, look at this. There's so many different options. I don't personally want to do any of that. I'm teaching you to do quick but professional. So we're just going to stick with these combinations. So I'm going to click the corporate. I like how this goes. And there it goes. So this is what I'm going to do. Great. Now I don't want this one to be included because it was kind of moving and I don't want it to move. I'm going to see if I can turn this off. If I can't, you know what? It's fine because I'm not going to spend a crazy amount of time doing something, right? So let's see, animate. I'm going to make this one, maybe I make it fade. Remove animation. All right. So let's see.
When you have animation, for how long that is going to stay there?
In the free version, it's pretty much like automatically for 5 seconds. In a paid version, you're able to change. So in the paid version, you can change the speed at which things appear, disappear, all of that stuff. But in the free version, which we'll stick to, it's just going to have just the thing here.
That's why sometimes I am reading and it disappears. So
yes.
Like
yeah. So let's see, share. Now, did it remove all of my animations? Let's see. Let's see if it did.
When you download it, it gets downloaded in Facebook?
Nope, it's just going straight to your computer. Yep, it's going to be in likely if you have a PC. Don't ask me about Mac because I don't know. But it's probably going to go to your downloads file.
Yeah.
I refuse to learn anything about Apple. So if anybody is watching this and has Apple, I'm so sorry. But that was your decision to make to get an Apple. So so it didn't. You see that? It didn't actually, it removed everything. So I'm just going to move on with my life. I'm going to put this animation back on. It's just because it's not locked as an actual background. It's an image. Doesn't really matter. All you guys need to know is that I'm just going to put this back on. Boom. Move on with our life. Element animations are replaced. Fabulous. So I'm going to say here, oh, I've got a chat. I'm glad. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. So I'm going to come back on here. I'm going to download it and I can download it as a video or I could download it as a GIF. Either way is going to be fine. I'm going to do a video. I want it to automatically play. And so when I put this on my story, this is going to then be one of those that's moving as it's going, right? So if I put this as on my story, it will play, you know, whatever. So it'll kind of play like if you were recording your dog's fighting or something like that. So there's that. Now I've done all this work. I've gotten my story exactly how I like it, but I want to also make a post out of this. So what I'm going to do is take this exact same one and I'm going to create a Facebook post. So all I'm going to do is highlight everything here. I just grabbed, I'm highlighting everything, Control C, and then I'm going to come back to my main like home screen. And I'm going to type in Facebook post. And I'm going to grab this blank one over here because I don't want to look at any more templates. I've already done my work. The one thing I will say is with Canva, you can go down rabbit holes. So find one template like that you like and stick with it because otherwise you're going to end up taking more time than you really want to. Let me unlock this. Okay, so I'm going to do Control C, Control V, and there it is. So now I have the same general look of things, but I'm going to have to shift things around. I'm going to come back on here and grab my background. Control V. My positioning is different again, so I'm going to throw this back over here, position to back. okay? And now I'm just gonna move things around. So we're gonna follow the guidelines that you've been seeing. See all these different guidelines that pop up? I'm gonna grab this. And it likes to keep, there's like this little box around. This box is really helpful just as a general rule of thumb of not getting things too close to the edge. So I'm just gonna, I can either stay within it or I can use it as a general frame of reference. I'm gonna stick mine right here. Throw this that main line right here. When it's solid like that, means that's the full center of the image. I'm gonna grab this guy. I'm gonna grab this edge over here and pull him all the way. So I'm gonna look for that box. There it is. I'm gonna grab this side. I'm gonna look for that box. There it is. Boop. And then I'm gonna make myself a little bit bigger because I am vain. And I'm gonna stick it right here in the center. There's my line. Maybe I'll shift this down just a touch. And then I can grab this text and move the text box over. And I don't want the text box to be the exact same size, right? So I'm gonna kind of find my center guide on that, slide it down a little bit. Come on, let go. There we go. And I can make my text a bit bigger now. I'm gonna make Jed really small because I don't want everyone to see his name. No, I'm just kidding. Love you, Jed. I'm gonna grab that. And really you don't have to be that particular. Like you see these center guides, like I'm doing this in like a matter of seconds. I'm gonna scoot that down. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna move this over. Now I have a matching, story and post. This looks really good for branding. Everything's looking very clean. Everything's looking very cohesive. That makes me happy. So this is ready to go now. If I really wanted to start getting a little bit more nitpicky, I'd probably size this customer testimonial and up a little bit and move few things around here and there. But like I literally did that in the course of 2 minutes. You saw me take one template I already did, turn it into another one. So now I'm going to show you so this is me taking reviews I already have and turning them into posts. What if you don't have any Facebook reviews yet? What if today is the day that you're setting up your Facebook Google review? Well, let's go back to our template section. And I can share this with everyone, but this is one that I've just personally created. Review. And I'm going to switch over to projects. So this is not one that you would have access to in the search feature, right? Because this is one that I've created, I personally own. Now, looking at this, I've got my little face on here. You can see that I have the ability to have this printed as well because I've got all my little criteria on here that I have to have. And this is me asking for reviews. So I showed you how to post and brag about yourself. This is how to actually ask for them. So what I would do is I'd come over to the page here, and I'm going to go back to this little button that says get more reviews. Here is this link. So I'm going to click copy, and I'm going to come back to this. So I'm just going to read through what I have personally created with this. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Go away. Okay. So you can kind of see this. It says a huge favor to ask, would you be willing to leave me a 5-star review? Got my little face on there. Even if you have never used me to buy or sell, have I ever given you any value over the years? Now, this is a good way to phrase it because maybe you haven't actually closed a deal with the person. Maybe you're a brand new agent and you haven't actually closed any deals. This is a good way to kind of get people who you've helped find a rental or what have you. You can review my real estate knowledge, community support, experience, professionalism, etc. So I really like the phrasing of this. And then this little scan me, and then there's a QR code. So that's kind of cool. How did I do that? Let me show you. So you're going to come over here on this little section. You see there's like all these different ones. This might be in a different section for you because Canva kind of prioritizes the left-hand widgets based on what you typically use. But it's going to be under apps regardless. You're definitely going to be able to find it under apps. So we're going to click this, and then I don't want to scroll through. I'm just going to type in QR. Boop. There we go. So I want this one right here that says QR code. There's all these cute little ones. I just want QR code. That's it. And I'm going to click open. And it says enter URL. So I'm just going to drop my URL there. And I'm going to click generate code. And there it is. Now it should look pretty similar. It might not be exactly because I actually made this using a old website before. This I made a few years ago, and that was prior to the Canva actually having this QR code thing, which makes life like 1,000 times easier. So I would just drop this in to this thing, or if it's not going to grab on, I will just delete this one out. Oop, come on. And I'm going to scale it down. Center it, and that is a set. There we go. Still a little bigger than the original one, but that's okay. And I just put this little thing that says scan me, and there you go. Got my little 5 stars, and then I've got all my information. Coastal town, I've got office, cell, here's the thing. And then because actually, so I was incorrect when I said that before. I could not technically print this. Why?
It doesn't have the address of the office.
Yes, thank you. So this would still need to be online, which is fine because that's the only way I've shared it. So now what I've done with this is I've taken this image and I've shared it, texted it to people. I've sent it on Facebook. I've sent it in emails. You can send this image, but I do recommend when you do that to then also copy and paste the link into whatever form you did it. Because if someone receives an email and they have their phone, their computer up, then they can take this QR code and they can go, great. And they can just sit there and scan it right on their phone. But if they open it up on their phone, it's a little bit trickier, right? Like they would have to like search it or whatever. So that having the link in addition in the text message is more user-friendly for the people that you send it to. So the other thing that I'll say in my last 5 minutes is maybe you want to ask this for your birthday. My birthday's on, is it Saturday? Saturday. My birthday's on Saturday. And thank you. And I'm going to be 21. Yes, 25 plus shipping and handling. So I am going to maybe change this to a huge favor to ask for my birthday, or you can play around with it and you can grab these elements. I've done this for Christmas as well. Like I've changed this a huge favor to ask. I've said all I want for Christmas is, and then a 5-star review. So you can kind of change things up depending. I'm in this element section. I'm going to type in the word birthday, the words birthday hat. And I've got all these little graphics. See all. Let's grab, this one's cute. Let's grab that. I'm gonna stick it on my head. Just like have fun with it, because every time you show your personality, people think it's fun, right? So I throw my little hat on there. But if it wasn't, I mean, that one actually happened to have a good head tilt on it, but I could like, change the angle of the hat this way. And it's just something fun that you can do to make things, you know, just to get more engagement. So now you know how to get these all out. If you really wanted to send these out in an email, you could do that. You can also use MailChimp. If you've never used MailChimp before, it is very fun. You could also use KB Core probably. I haven't personally tried to put an image into KB Core in this moment. However, I'm confident you'd be able to. Or you can do MailChimp. I'm going to show you MailChimp. because I like that in MailChimp, you can send campaigns and have it track things. Oh, okay, well, it's grabbing Civic League. We're going to go into my Civic League. You can do it. There you go. All right. So MailChimp is free. You would just put in all your people, same thing that we were talking about before. So long as there's an opt-out button, which there is, you're still fine with this. And so MailChimp, it shows your, I should have picked a different one. You can just create an email. You can make emails, and I'm not going to go into all of this today. Let me actually show you why I like it though, because if I put it in there, I can see who's clicking. Let me do Tidewater. Kind of like the same as my email. I don't like pulling up my actuals, you get it. So let me look at, here's my open rate. Here, let's do January 2023. Was that? Yeah, let's look at that one. So you can see how many people opened it. You can see one person did unsubscribe. There you go. That doesn't always happen, but it does occasionally. 153 people opened it. I had 97.7 successful deliveries. I had 276 views. So that means people did go back into it, because if only 153 opened it, that means that people went back to the email as well, which is good. And so you can kind of see different performance rates of these. I like numbers, so that's why I personally like MailChimp, just because it allows me to kind of track things a little bit. So that's how I personally send out my review requests. Because then I can see how many people are actually opening it. You can play around with the subject lines, like all I want for Christmas, and then have that just be the subject line and see if that encourages more people to click it, or for my birthday, and see if people are more likely to click it. So those are different ways to kind of get the reviews out there. And then with my last minute, there was one last thing I have to remember. The last thing I wanted to show you is in your email. If you ever want to go back and manage your business account, manage those reviews, another way to get to it is opening your Gmail, come over to this Google Apps, and it's right here, Google Business Manager. Now, again, Google sometimes prioritizes this in different orders for different people, but it is going to be somewhere in this window. If I click this again, it's going to take me back to that again. So,
the more you use it, the larger.
Correct. Yes, exactly. The more you use it, the higher it ranks up. So any questions on what we've covered today? I know it was a lot, but I just really wanted to kind of get through the various stages of reviews.
This was great.
Good. Good. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. If you decide that you want this exact template, just shoot me an email. Otherwise, you can kind of use the general idea of what I have here and make your own. But just, whenever you post these on Facebook, tag me in a comment, like put a comment on there and just tag me, because I really want to see you guys doing these. And then I can brag about you, because I'm proud of you for taking the time and trying to do your own marketing on here. It's always good to brag about yourself. So, well, in this context, not in other context. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.